What is up YouTube, JB here coming at you guys with a brand new video. So today we're going to be talking about a much requested topic over the last few years really, and that is going to be where I get all of my foreign Yu-Gi-Oh cards. So before we start this video off, I want to give a huge shout out to Cardmarket.com. They have just come on as a sponsor for the show. They are going to be supporting me over the next few months. This video is not actually a paid sponsorship. I just wanted to kind of incorporate it with the brand announcement. I'm doing this one off of my own back just to show you how great the platform is, but I have got an affiliate link down below. If you guys could click on that, head through to there, create an account. I am going to be doing giveaways based on that link, and we'll start it off with one giveaway of 10 euros of free credit. There is going to be a coupon hidden somewhere in this video. It will flash up for a few frames, so keep your eyes peeled for that. So my number one platform for picking up foreign cards, and that's where this all kind of ties into one, and I thought it would be a great way to tie the branding together with a video, is Cardmarket.com themselves. So Cardmarket is exactly what it says on the tin. It is a card-based marketplace across the entirety of the European continent and of course the UK for all things TCG. So holding a fair few games that are very dear to my heart. Of course, the Yu-Gi-Oh trading card game. You guys will remember I played a fair bit of Vanguard, I played a bit of Pokemon behind the scenes, and every single time a lot of my purchases came from this website. So we're going to dig into this and I'll show you guys around, show you a little bit about what the whole thing looks like. So diving into the landing, we're currently on my own account. This is what you'll see once you've actually jumped onto a specific marketplace. So you'll see up here we're actually on the Yu-Gi-Oh based market, so I usually kind of refer to this as Yu-Gi-Oh card market in a lot of my videos, but it's cardmarket.com/Yu-Gi-Oh. A handy thing that the landing immediately shows you, if you're in need of inspiration, if you're like, okay, what is my next big deck, or are there any cards that I'm potentially missing or not thinking of in my current purchase, you can actually check out what people are buying on here. So one of the ways I often go, hang on a minute, then I want to change my staples across to foreign, or I want to get the next staple in foreign, but like I want to make sure I'm not missing anything. Like, oh, the new Pot of Desires that came out in Toon Chaos, I totally forgot about that. Let's pick those up in foreign. I would have forgotten about that sort of thing if I was just, say, scrolling through mindless marketplaces or running searches on eBay. But handily enough, this tool is here so that when I'm looking for kind of comprehensive carts of that type of card, it's automatically there in front of me. So you can check out the trends of the best sellers of what is actually being picked up the most. So that's normally going to give you an idea of what you should probably be picking up. And if you're like me and you like a lot of your staples in foreign, if someone else is buying it a lot, then it's probably a staple that I need to pick up, right? You can also then check out the best bargains as well. I'm always one for a quick bargain. If you ever see any of my mail day openings with, say, Troll and Toad, you'll notice that I'm always going through their website to pick up just the random odds and ends that they'll sell. Like cheap DT cards that I'll never see play, but we're going to look cool in a binder. So that's where another part of this all comes in. To show you guys a little kind of purchase example as well, say I wanted to pick up a foreign tour guide from the Underworld, because you guys all know that I absolutely, like, come on, all my branding is tour guide. I absolutely adore the darn thing. If I go tour guide from the Underworld, that's then immediately going to give me the opportunity to then search through all the different rarities, so I'm not having to go through sets or anything like that. I don't care what set it was. Like, I know Extreme Victory was a secret rare, it's going to tell me over here, but if I click through, this is the exact rarity I want, and then presented with a marketplace for that card. So if you don't really care about condition, you just want to pick one up, you can start out at the poor end of things. These can be anywhere from destroyed to really heavily played, and then most importantly, it's going to show you the language that the card is in. Now, I'm a really big fan of targeting Italian, German, and French cards. Italian and French cards always tend to have super long names, and I really love that. I love when a name is much smaller and longer than its English counterpart. So that's something that I target. It's just an aesthetic on the card, which we'll get to in my favorites section a little later on in the video. But that's mainly what I target. And then it also lets you know what those sellers are offering the card at, and you can get a quick reference for what their ratings are as well. So this seller over here has 10 sales. They've probably not sold a huge amount of things. It gives you their estimated delivery time as well. So if you're looking for the card in a hurry, you have that at an absolute glance. Their physical location, And then again, this part is so important to me on what the language of the card is going to be. If you're conscious of what timing you're at in terms of the card's price history as well, every single listing has something that's so important to me. I have no concept of card prices. I constantly think my vendor friends are ripping me off because I'll be honest with you, I don't have time to track any card prices. If I need something, I usually ask for it and I kind of cross my fingers and clench and go, oh, I hope I'm buying it at an okay price. If you ever have that kind of anxiety like me and you can actually be bothered to check out where you're at, you can actually check how the price of a certain card on its average sale rate has been going. So at the moment, if I was picking up Tour Guide from the Underworld, their average trending at just inside 30 euros. That's a little higher than the market average. It seems that the market average sits at closer to maybe 20 euros, and that's maybe a better time to buy, but it makes me aware of whether or not, say, I'm buying at a super spike like in May when the card was trending an average sale of 40 euros, for example. So if you're also looking to just put an entire deck together like I often am, there's one other tool I'd love to showcase to you. So if we head through to the buying tab and go to the shopping wizard, if we create a wants list here, let's just call this Shadol deck, or just Shadol, because what I want to do here is put together, say, a French Shadol core. So if we add a wanted card to this, you could also import a deck list. If I go, I want to get some Shadol constructs to start the list off. I want 3, not 32, 3 French near mint, first edition. And I want some, was it Flames of Destruction that came out in? I always forget what set it even came out in. I want 3 Flames of Destruction first edition Shadol constructs. So if I hit add, that's then going to add that to my wants list. And if I pop back across to that wants list, that will then populate in here 3 Flames of Destruction Shadol constructs in French at the lowest market price, which is an interesting one at 2 cents, because that's, of course, I've misspelled it. It was actually El Shadol construct we would have wanted to put in. So if I add another wanted card and I go El Shadol construct, that's where I was confusing myself. And I know that actually someone messed themselves up with that in a major event and ended up having to take their constructs out of their deck. If I go El Shadol construct, now we're getting it. It was, of course, Duelist Alliance. We want it in near mint, first edition, sign, no. So if I go, hey, give me 3 of these, and version 1 and version 2, this will denote the ultimate rares. So if I go version 2, that now adds that to my wants list. If I then go back to my wants list, they're now sitting in here, and that is a much more accurate representation of the price as opposed to 2 cents. So I could go through that, build out the entire list, and that's immediately going to put that cart together for me, showing me the from prices, and I can then go through which sellers have the most cards in that list, so that I can actually put a whole cart together and save myself on some postage. So I can immediately pick up my whole French core without much of a struggle, whereas say if I'd have been doing it on like French eBay, I would have to go through all the sellers individually and really pick and choose and see, and it takes me about half hour to work out if that cart is something I can do. So it's a really quick one to put together. And then another way that I would be remiss if I didn't mention that I pick up foreign cards is I try to surround myself with a lot of people who are vendors or who are collection buyers that are going to want to sell primarily to the UK market, either through physical stores or primarily through marketplaces that aren't Cardmarket, so your eBays and your Amazons. On those marketplaces, cards that are in English usually sell a lot faster, so they're looking to make a quicker turnover. For folks like me, I'm going to be holding on to cards for quite some time for the library, for the YouTube channel, and also for my own collection. So for example, you will have seen in a very recent video in my Shadol videos that my El Shadol constructs recently found their way into being Italian. That is because I had English Ultimate Rares for the longest time. One of my friends picked up a collection that contained some Ulti constructs in Italian, and we did a 1-for-1 swap. I'm happier because I get my harder to come by Italian copies, and he gets some English ones to flip on a lot easier. So that is the way a lot of these make their way into my collection, and I'll often kind of let them know what I've got, or I send them my collection videos like the one that I posted a short while back, and let them peruse through that and say, hey, here's what I've got. If you can get these in, I can get you the English transition real easy. So we help each other out in that regard, and you can set up a similar supply chain yourself. established friends that you know are collection flippers or bulk buyers, and they'll often come into foreign stuff that you can just pick up and slowly but surely add to your collection. So I'd be remiss if I didn't mention it that way around, because it can be a little bit cheaper than a marketplace. And finally, I wanted to close out the video with a few of my all-time favourite foreign Yu-Gi-Oh cards and the way that they change the way an archetype feels for me. I'm a little bit weird. I like a lot about the aesthetics of a card, but also having a little something different about it. So having the archetype look a little bit strange on the card. So one of my earliest pickups in foreign was actually at 2011, the 2011 YCS in Brighton. My first real touch of a foreign Yu-Gi-Oh card was actually a German wind-up Zenmains that I bought from Merlin Schumacher. I still remember that I actually needed for the event, and that really set me on a path. I really loved the word Aufschrei and the fact that it added a little bit more spice to the word wind-up. And of course, the fact that it was then changed from Zenmains into Zenmai Meinen. I just really liked the way it alters the entire aesthetic of the card, the way it looks completely different. Not everyone is going to be slapping down a card that says that exact same thing. So that it adds that little bit of extra prestige for me. And I really just love Aufschrei instead of Wind Up. And for a good while before I ended up selling that collection, somewhat that language was in demand, for a good while that was my wind-up deck. Then the whole reason that I ended up building Shadol as that example card is this lady, El Shadol Construct or Construction Marionetta della Ombra El. Shadol monsters in French appeal to what I said about wanting really, really long archetype names. So Marionetta della Ombra is the archetype name printed on every single Shadol card. So if you go back and check out my Shadol videos, I believe from 2018, before the Ultra reprints came out, a lot of my core was all Marionetta della Ombra. Because it's such a long name, and it's a real struggle to fit it on the card, as you can see with situations like Constructor, and it's is it Constructuition? Or Constructuition Marionetta dell'Ombrelle? I'm definitely pronouncing it wrong. I'm really bad at my foreign language pronunciations, but it's fantastic. I only ever really like to do this for cards that I've memorized the card effect for, because then I can actually tell people what the card actually does off of my memory. So cards like Construct, I've been playing forever. I know the card back to front. It's very, very easy for me. And it's actually helped me pick up a few words and understand a few foreign language terms, just because a lot of the keywords in the Yu-Gi-Oh cards I'm able to pick up and learn as kind of a passive translation. So it actually has helped me in reading a lot of other foreign Yu-Gi-Oh cards in the future. Then we move into other cards that I love to pick up, which are just, in my opinion, silly. And I'm sorry to any cultures that seems a little bit disrespectful to. I just love when you go from things like Yugioh armor into Ingranagia Armatura. And I'm pretty sure I missed out a few of the like 4 Gs that are in that name. Just seeing a card name which just becomes one large block of text in a stupidly long name, it's really fun to me. It causes a bit of banter between me and my opponent when they notice the name. Like, I used to play Ingranagia Armatura, I can't say it, in my Gear deck back in 2014, and so many people would pick up on it. And then finally, there are just cards that have a nice ring to it. So everyone knows Mecha Phantom Beast Draco Sack from the not True Draco, that's real recent, from the Dragon Ruler format, and Bestia Phantasma Mechanica Kosaka Drago. I thought I could get that all in one, god damn it. It's just such a nice ring to it. Kosaka Drago Mechanica, it's just a real smooth name. So you can come into these names for all sorts of ways. Just a real nice ring to it, really long, really kind of silly when you read it in English, or just a real smooth, almost improvement in the way that the card sounds and falls off the tongue. What I'd love for you guys to do for me is let me know your favourite foreign Yu-Gi-Oh cards in the description down below. I'd love to hear what weird and wonderful names you guys have had in your collection and what has piqued your interest. Just as before, I'd like to give another big shout out to Cardmarket. Again, this has not been an advert. They've not paid me for this specific sponsored video. We have a different program going on. I just think they're great. Please do, again, check out the affiliate link down below. Sign up, create an account, have a browse, maybe pick up a few of your favourite Yu-Gi-Oh cards in foreign to give your deck that little bit of extra pizzazz. I hope you've all enjoyed. Leave this video a like if you did. Subscribe if you're new here. Share this with your friends if you think they benefit from it. And otherwise, I will see you guys very, very soon with some more Yu-Gi-Oh related content. This has been Jamie the Kid 00. I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye!